Hey foodies, how are you today? Thanks for stopping by my channel. I'm always so happy to see you guys. You ever get sick of eating meat? I do sometimes. And this is a delicious veggie and couscous and lentil stew. I made it by accident and it turned out to be delicious and very heartwarming and soul-fulfilling. You must try it. In a deep skillet, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Stick with oil that's polyunsaturated. Canola is a good substitute. Stay away from saturated fats or monosaturated fats. They're not as good or as heart healthy for you. So we're bringing the olive oil up to temperature. I'm using extra virgin olive oil because it has really great olive flavor. In a veggie stew, you want to add as much flavor as you can because some vegetables can be kind of bland. So to that oil, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of crushed garlic. Careful not to turn your garlic black because it happens very quick and you end up with an acrid tasting stew. And you don't want that. So we're bringing that garlic up to a sizzle. And this is the point where it starts to release a lot of aroma and it turns slightly brown, but remember, we don't want it black. To the mixture, I'm adding an onion, a couple of stalks of celery, and a couple of carrots, kind of chunky style. Because this is going to braise, we don't want them to disintegrate into the sauce. There's nothing like a classic combination of onion, celery, carrot. There's another trinity that adds a bell pepper to this. They're called so many different things. Trinities, sofritos, all delicious no matter what country it comes from. To that mix, I'm adding some Italian seasoning. The herbs in Italian season really bring out the flavor and aroma of these vegetables. If you want this spicy, now's the time to add a little bit of cayenne or a dash of hot sauce or some hot paprika. Choice is yours. Make it as spicy as you like. As I said, vegetables can be bland, so zip it up. I'm adding some salt and pepper. I use freshly ground sea salt and freshly ground black pepper. The flavor from the ones that are already pre-ground is astronomically different. If you can, please buy the whole spice. Don't buy the ground up stuff. After a while sitting on the shelf, your ground spices will taste like nothing. This is bound to be always fresh because you're grinding it fresh every time you use it. So we're stirring the salt and pepper and Italian seasoning in. The oil will activate those flavors as well. And I'm adding a 14-ounce can of plum tomatoes with the juice in the can. Don't they look gorgeous? Plum tomatoes are absolutely delicious and so much more flavor than regular tomatoes. I'm just chopping them up coarsely. I mean, nobody wants a whole tomato on their spoon, I hope. You want little bits. You want it to break down a bit into the sauce and make a delicious accompaniment to these vegetables. Stir it all up, and we're going to bring everything up to temperature and start to simmer this. The colors of these vegetables, as soon as they start heating, turn beautifully vibrant. The carrots get oranger, the celery gets greener, and the tomatoes get redder. That's what I should have called this stew. Orange, green, and red stew. I'm adding some vegetable stock. I'm using the concentrated version, but you can use whatever vegetable stock you have on hand. You can even use your own, which would be even better. The concentrated vegetable stock has delicious vegetable flavors, and it's concentrated so it's not just kind of like watery vegetables. We're bringing the mixture up to temperature so it starts to simmer. You guys made a similar kind of stew at home where you've had a bunch of veggies in the fridge and maybe a can of tomatoes and think, what will I do with it? Well, this is a good thing. I do this quite often. I stand in front of my fridge for about 20 minutes looking to see what there is and pull it all out and throw it in the pan. I'm adding a dash of Maggi for additional flavor. You can substitute some Worcestershire sauce, which will make it a bit spicy. You can substitute a little bit of soy. If you're going to use soy, cut back on the salt at the beginning. To this mixture, I'm adding 2/3 of a cup of Pearl Couscous. These happen to be tricolored. This is also called Israeli couscous. They will absorb a lot of the delicious flavor from this stew and plump up and be gorgeous. You'll be surprised at how big they get. They're almost like pearls of tapioca when they get cooked. You see how that's thickened up beautifully? The couscous has absorbed all the delicious sauce from the tomatoes and the carrots and the onions. And now I'm going to make it even better and add a 14-ounce can of lentils. In this instance, I am draining them because I don't need the extra moisture. These happen to be green lentils. If you have canned lentils that are red or yellow, please use them. If you only have fresh, I would suggest you cook them partially before you throw them in the stew. Because once these lentils add into the vegetable mix, this stew is almost complete. They just need to heat through. Doesn't this look yummy? It's my favorite saying it's absolicious. Now it's completely finished. The sauce has thickened, and you've got beautiful lentils and couscous and some delicious aromatic vegetables. And there's the finished dish. You can eat this as it is, as a stew. You can have some pasta with it, some rice, anything goes. If you like the recipe, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. Just love to have more foodies here with me. Thanks for stopping by for another veggie recipe that warms your soul. We'll see you next time.